Did you know that a ghost told me to write my book? I know how that sounds. If you don't believe in that sort of thing, it's fine. I don't know if I do either. You can call this story a coincidence, but what happened still gives me chills. And I'm gonna tell you about it. So a few years ago, I was in my car thinking about my latest idea for a novel. As one does when they're driving, writers, authors, you know the car is the best place to think of book ideas. The concept was a road trip between a 17, 18-year-old girl and her ghost father, loosely based on my own life. Now, my dad died from complications due to alcoholism when I was 15, and we never really got any closure in our relationship. We never got to say goodbye. And my idea for this book was, what if I could give this character what I never got? Time with her dad, conversations with her dad, a chance to say the things we never got to say. That was going to be the main theme, the main kind of idea behind this book. There'd be a lot more to it than that, and there ended up being a lot more to it than that. But that was where I started. So I'm driving, thinking through some scenes they could have together, some things they could talk about, things that would come up, and I land music. My dad was a musician, and he was always trying to get me to talk about music. He was always trying to talk about whatever music or songs I was listening to, trying to break down, the key changes, the chord progression, tell me all the technical reasons I might like the music I was listening to. And I never wanted to hear it. Partly because he was drunk most of the time, partly because I was a teenager. I didn't want to bond with him because of the drinking, and also I was a teenager. I just wanted him to leave me alone. Thinking back now, those are moments I always regret. But in this moment, I was thinking of a particular memory. There was a moment I was listening to a particular song and he pulled his usual, you really like this song because listen to the way that the artist does this, and I got annoyed. But I couldn't remember the song. I'm sitting in my car trying to think, what was that song? What was the song that came on when he was so adamant that I liked it because of this, and I just didn't want to hear it. I just liked it because I liked it. But I couldn't remember the song. So I'm racking my brain while I'm driving, trying to think of this song. And at this point, I should add, I didn't know if I was going to write this book yet. It was just a thought in my head. It was a book I always knew I would write, but I didn't know if I was ready to write it yet. And then, kid you not, my cat can't believe it either, the next track on my playlist starts, and it is, no spoilers, Mariah Carey's Always Be My Baby. And boom, just like that, I remember that was the song I was listening to, and I can picture the room in my house where I was listening to it when my dad came in and said, oh, listen to the way this artist does this with her voice, and that's why you like it. And I was like, no, I just like it because I like it. But that was the song. I'm sitting there trying to remember this particular moment, this particular song, when it comes on in my car. I put my hand over my mouth. I started doing that cry, laugh thing you do while also still trying to keep control of the road. And I don't know what I believe in about ghosts or the afterlife or any of that. But in that moment, I did feel stronger than I've ever felt in my life that I was not alone in that car. If I'd ever felt that my dad was around somehow, I'd never felt it stronger than in that moment. It felt like I was getting a little taste of that road trip with my dad that I was thinking about. I sang, cried a little, and I realized that was a sign. This was the book I was supposed to write, and it is the right time to write it. That moment where I was debating, should I move forward with this book? That was the sign I needed to tell me, yes, it's time to write this book. And so I did. And that book became The Things We Cannot Change, a story about the ghosts created by addiction. The concept changed a little bit. The road trip went out the window, but the interactions, the relationship exploration, that all remained. The ghost remained. It's a story about Callie, who 1 year after she loses her father to alcoholism, comes face to face with his ghost and is suddenly forced to face all the complicated emotions she's ever felt about their relationship. So that is a story about the sign I got that it was time to write my book. Whether it was a sign from afterlife, from a ghost, from the universe, or just a gut feeling that I got and happened to be a coincidence. It told me it was time to write that book. Have you ever felt like you've gotten a sign from the beyond, from someone you've been missing, from someone maybe you had a complicated relationship with? Tell me about it in the comments. And if this book sounds like something that would speak to you, there's a link in the description below. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your day.